Good morning, guys. Thanks for watching and Happy New Year. Today is Wednesday, January the 1st of 2020. Also this year, guys, we're going to be putting out more videos and more content. If you guys have any video requests or video suggestions, please email that over to us at the info@bumblebeedispatch.com. Before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. That way, any new videos or content we put out, you will be able to be notified if you hit that little bell after you subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below, or you can also send us an email. This video today, we're going to talk about how freight brokers actually pay the carriers. So once a carrier actually have picked up a load and they delivered it, now they're looking to get paid from the freight brokers. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the freight brokers pay the carriers. So first we have the carrier's paperwork. So once the load is delivered, the carrier must submit the paperwork to the broker. Either directly, they can submit everything directly to the broker if they're going to be invoicing that broker directly to get paid. But a lot of carriers have something called a factoring company. If you don't know what a factoring company is, we do have previous videos that kind of go more in depth. But basically, a factoring company is a third party, and they basically do something like a quick pay, where once the carrier send over their paperwork, they can pay that carrier same day or next day, usually direct deposit in their checking account. There may be other like different cards, they may have fuel cards, however the carrier choose to receive that payout. Okay. So basically the carrier could submit the paperwork to the broker directly if they want the broker to pay them directly, or via their factoring company. Now, if the carrier does have a factoring company, their factoring company will actually submit all of the paperwork to the broker, and then that broker will actually be paying the factoring company back. Okay. Um, the carrier's paperwork include the invoice, rate confirmation, the bill of lading or POD, which is the same. Some people refer to it as bill of lading, and some people refer to it as proof of delivery. With a lot of the refrigerated loads, sometimes you have a lumper fee. So basically when that truck goes and pulls up to the dock to get loaded, there's a lumper, someone who unloads it, and usually they charge a fee. Most of the time, the brokers will reimburse you for that, or the brokers will actually pay. So the driver would get there, he would call the broker would issue him something called a com check, and the broker will tell the driver, make sure you send over the receipts, because we went ahead and advanced you the money for the lumper. So just make sure you send that receipt in when you do your billing. You will not have a lumper receipt every time you do an invoice. Okay, it's optional. And you may even have something called a scale ticket, depending on if that broker requests that trucking company or that carrier to provide scale tickets. You could have a scale ticket before loaded and after you get loaded. So basically that's what it includes. Sometimes you have to create an invoice, but let's say a carrier has a factoring company. The factoring company may just want a rate confirmation and a bill of lading, and any other receipts you may have. They may not necessarily require you to do an invoice. However, if you are a carrier and you are billing the broker directly, you will need to create an invoice. Okay. If you're sending it over to your factoring company, they may or may not request that invoice. So you just need to check with your factoring company to see if that's something that they request. Alrighty. Now, if a carrier is submitting paperwork to a broker and a broker offers quick pay, then they must include the quick pay on your invoice. So you need to let the broker know, hey, here's my invoice, but I want to do the quick pay option. Okay. Um, and you need to let them know which quick pay. A lot of brokers may have a 1-day quick pay. So if it's a 1-day quick pay, you need to put that on your invoice. Okay, minus any fees that the broker charged. So let's just say you did a load that paid $1,000 and the broker charged a 1-day quick pay at 5%. So you need to invoice that broker. You would do 1,000, you would do quick pay minus the 5%, which would be $50. and then the total balance that the broker will owe you would be $950. And you will make sure that reflects on your invoice when you send it over to the brokerage. Now, if all of the paperwork is accepted by the broker, then the broker can begin to process paperwork for payment. Now we're going to talk a little bit about different ways a carrier can actually receive the funds, okay? So they could basically get a cum check. If a broker is set up with something called cum data, it's a company, they're able to issue a cum check or a cum check code. And basically that driver or carrier could go to like a truck stop and they could cash that cum check. They could even take it to their bank and cash it too. But they're able to cash it and get funds. A lot of times when brokers do something called fuel advance, they may issue cum checks, and then when that driver goes to the truck stop to get fuel, they could give the gas station or truck stop that cum check code. Com check and T check are alike. Actually, they're all kind of alike. They're just different codes. So you have com check, T check, and EFS check. They also could receive a standard check in the mail. They could get direct deposit. Basically, those are different ways that they could get paid from the broker. Okay. And the brokerage can also sign up with Com Data, EFS, and or T check to be able to send electronic codes. A brokerage can also sign up with a factoring company. So just like the trucking companies have a factoring company, brokerages can have a factoring company too. And then their factoring company can actually pay the carrier directly. Usually that method is going to be direct deposit. There may be other ways that they can get paid as well, okay, via com check or EFS check. Again, they can also send a check in the mail. That is going to be the slowest way for a carrier to get paid, but that is still an option as well. Okay. Now we're going to talk about why quick pay is important for brokers. So brokerages make money several ways, not just by brokering a load. So they basically make money off quick pays. Again, if a carrier decides to do a quick pay and that brokerage charge a quick pay fee, okay, so the brokerage is going to pay the carrier quickly, but they may charge 5% fee or 3% fee, whatever they charge. That's another way for that broker to generate some revenue. Now, we talked about how brokerages can also sign up with a factoring company. So again, factoring companies charge a fee, but that could offset that fee for the broker. So if the broker factors an invoice through their factoring company and that factoring company pays the carrier, then the brokerage may charge the carrier 5%. The factoring company charge the broker 5%, so they offset that fee. Okay. All right, and quick pay will vary depending on how soon the carrier wants to receive funds. So for example, you may have a brokerage that offer quick pay and they say, okay, we do a 1-day quick pay at 5%, 3-day quick pay at 3%, or a 7-day quick pay at 2%. Depending on which option that carrier chooses, depending on how fast that carrier wants to get paid, will determine what percent they pay for the quick pay fee. All right. And if you have your own brokerage, it's basically, your choice to determine how much you want to charge for your quick pay fees. That is basically totally up to you. Okay. If you're a freight agent and you work for a brokerage, usually they have their own guidelines of how they pay and everything. So you would just go along with what they already have in place as far as payment. But if you have your own brokerage, that's something for you to come up with. Okay. Now we're going to talk about different ways you can contact us. Of course, our website, bumblebedispatch.com. Our phone number is 770-727-0242. I will say our phone lines stay busy, so if you call and don't get an answer right away, just leave a message and we will get back in touch with you, okay? We're also on Instagram at Bumblebee Dispatch, on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Bumblebee Dispatch. We're also on Twitter, but we're not really on Twitter a lot. And of course, you can do at Bumblebee Dispatch or DISP. And we are looking for video requests. So if there's a video you would like us to make, it doesn't necessarily have to be with freight brokering. We do freight brokering, dispatch, and trucking. So any video within the logistics industry that you can think of and you would like to see, just send us a video request to our email at info@bumblebeedispatch.com, and make sure in the subject line you put video request. Now, please subscribe, like, and share this video. It may help someone else that you know. And again, once you subscribe, hit the bell so you can receive any notifications of any future videos that we do post. Thanks for watching.